It's week 7 of the high school football season tonight here in Beckett Ridge. It's Lakota West hosting Fairfield. It's the GMC here on Chatterbox Plus.
Launching towards the end zone, he's got Simpkins, ball in for the touchdown. Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking up to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
It's week 7 here in the high school football season, along with the rookie Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Fairfield and Lakota West partner tonight. Let's start with West and what they're doing on offense.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jeff, what they're doing and the way they're being dynamic on offense right now is truly amazing. Distributed the ball to 7 wide receivers last week. That means it takes the pressure off of Cameron Good in the backfield. When you're able to do that, you have a complete offense from top to bottom. Now, they do have a tough defense they're going against tonight, so that'll be interesting.
On the other side for Fairfield, they've been close at 2 and 3, but how close can they get tonight?
Well, you know, it's all going to come down to really, can they play sound defense and can they hit their marks on offense? They're banged up right now. We just got done talking with Coach. They have some injuries out there, so if they can figure out a way to stop and shut down those receivers, Lakota West, they're going to have a big chance tonight.
It's Fairfield and Lakota West while the starting lineups and play-by-play when we return on Chatterbox Plus. You're ready now. Time for our starting lineups, powered by Cintas. Over 1 million businesses rely on Cintas, so get Cintas and get ready for the workday. Lakota West has won the toss. We're going to make the assumption right now that they're on offense to start off, so let's go with the offense here. First and foremost, the team is head coached by Tom Bolden in his 3rd year. 20-6 in his 3rd season at West, 15th year overall, 152-27. The West Firebirds are 5-1 this season. The quarterback is number 7, Mitch Bolden, 6'2", 190 pounds, a junior. He is flanked by the running back, 25, Cameron Good. 3 wideouts that you'll see primarily tonight. Number 1, Jair Brown, number 4, Trent Lloyd, and number 13, Ben Minnick. The tight end is Anderson Simpson. He wears number 33. Up front, left to right, tackle to tackle, 77, Tegra Shabola, 78, Eric Cifuentes. The center is 62, Tony Curtis. 52, Caden Fletcher's the right guard, and 73, Lathan McComas is the right tackle. On the other side for Fairfield at 2 and 3, 2 and 2 in the GMC, Jason Krausen is his 11th year, 60 and 51 here with the program, his 26th year overall. The starting defense tonight for the Fairfield Indians is they run a 33 defense. The left end is James Thomas wearing number 88. 51, the nose tackle is Janelle Lattimore. The right end is 52, Josh Mompton. The linebacking core, number 0, KV Bivens, number 11, Quentin Gem, and number 31, Martrell Boykin, who gets a start tonight. The defensive backfield, the cornerbacks are 5, Trent Stevenson, and 21, Rais Fataki. And the safeties are 27, Matthew Humbarger, number 7, Josiah Jackson, and number 24, Ray Coney. And as we bring back in my main man, my partner, time to zero in with Zilch.
Yeah, tonight's keys of the game, Jeff, for Lakota West. You know, really right now, you got to continue what they were doing last week and continue to move that football around, distribute the football around so you take the pressure off of a guy like Cam Good, you know, moving forward. When you're able to do that, Jeff, man, your offense is really turning on all cylinders. And then got to limit the penalties. I know there was a little bit uncharacteristic for this Lakota West squad. Last week had 9 penalties against Mason. Coach Bolden, though, wasn't really sure if they were all, you know, against them. He had some few words in the coaches show earlier this week, but nonetheless, the penalties were called, the yardage was marked off, so they got to really limit those down. I know that's uncharacteristic, but if you're going to beat a team like Fairfield, you cannot commit those type of penalties. And then play sound defense. Look, they've played amazing defense all year long. They got to continue to play lockdown defense, especially in the secondary. Moving over to Fairfield, mix it up on the defensive front, which, you know, Mason had some success with that last week. And when you're able to do that and do some things that, you know, Lakota West maybe isn't quite prepared to do, they're going to have success. And then one more thing is take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves to them for the Indians tonight. There's going to be opportunities to make great plays. You got to capitalize off of those great plays here tonight. And you got to make the great plays. And Jeff, those are my keys to the game for tonight.
Absolutely, as we continue to zero in with Zilch, and we'll continue to zero in on the starting lineups. While we have a moment, we'll give you the other side starting lineups, the Fairfield Indians offense, spearheaded by the quarterback, number 8, Talon Fisher, at 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, a sophomore. The running back that we'll see primarily tonight is 3, Jordan Jackson, though we'll see a lot of Kieran Love as well, who wears number 4. The wideouts here, and in this one, 3 of them. 10 is Christian Jackson, 5 is Trent Stevenson, 17 is Mike Figgins. The H-back is number 9, Nate Hanna. Up front, the tackles are number 55, Dalton Davis, and number 73, Augie Groh. The guards are in 54, Colin Robinson, and 72, Isaiah Moore, and 56, Kendricks Goodman is the center. The defense for the West Firebirds as they run a 33 front. The defensive ends tonight are number 99, Brian Henderson, and 90, Elijah Davis. 96, Kofi Bovey is the nose tackle. The linebackers are 3, Tyler Sparnell, 23, Aiden Miller, and 11 getting the start tonight, your main man, Jacob Asbeck, and we'll get to him in just a second. The cornerbacks are 1, Jair Brown, and 11, Josh Fussell. The safeties are 2, Alex Afari, number 9, Malik Hartford, and 20, Ben Minnick.
Well, you mentioned Jake Asbeck. I think what's really cool is, we've seen this West squad now 5 times, I think, this year. And you've seen him get playing time each and every game. It kept increasing and increasing and getting more and more to now where he's actually in the starting lineup. So that's really cool to see a kid, especially a young sophomore like that, start off and continue to get better each and every week. And obviously his coaches saw it. They saw what he was doing. He was flying around the field, man, hitting people left and right. All those, all the weeks that he was seeing that playing time in, they finally said, hey, look, you're going to make our defense better, Jacob. So that's a great asset that Lakota West has had. But, man, what a night tonight, buddy. Another one.
Absolutely. Game time temperature 76 degrees. The wind, a slight one, east to southeast at 3 miles an hour, 40% humidity, so things have cooled off as we get towards dusk. The referee is Jeff Joy. The umpire is Roland Thompson. The line judge, Chris Anderson. The linesman is Clint Coleman, and the back judge, Larkin Banks. Sticking with Asbeck for just a second, how much of a difference does one tackle make? Well, this is a guy in Jacob Asbeck who was buried on the depth chart coming into the season, came in the St. X game, got a big hit in that game. Now, it's a losing effort for the team, so that goes a little unnoticed by us and the rest of everybody else. But that hit woke up the team and said, maybe we got to put him on the field a little bit more. And then he's been seeing first man off the bench duties, and then tonight he gets to start.
Absolutely. And I just kind of go back, that one play against St. X and then the multiple other plays. He had big hits against Princeton that night that we were here, Jeff. And, again, it's just so impressive to see somebody get, a kid get developed like that throughout a season. That happens all the time. A lot of times that doesn't get enough credit out there that these kids work so hard for. But, here we go, Jeff. Another week.
Week number 7, just about set to go here in this one. Here in Beckett Ridge. Alex Afari, one of the deep men, along with Jair Brown, it appears, out on the far side. So 1 and 2 out at the 10-yard line. As about 30 minutes ago, you and I, partner, were having a hard time seeing pretty much anything with the blazing sun. The sun is now starting to set, and we're seeing the entire field enshrouded in shade. So good sight visibility for us to get started off. I believe that's 83 out there who is set to kick things away. 93, thank you very much. 93 is Brock Snell, one of the place kickers here on this squad. So Snell to kick from his own 40. Fairfield clad in the visiting white tops with the red trim and the pants. And it's the red uniforms tonight, or the scarlet if you will, with the black trim, helmets, and the white numerals for the home team tonight for Lakota West. We've been waiting for this one for a while. Week 7 set to unfold here in the GMC. At 5-1 is Lakota West. Fairfield at 2-3. And away we go. Snell kicks. It's a little squibber up at the field, taken by one of the upmen at the 26. Up the middle, up towards the 35-yard line, and a good start here for the West Firebirds.
Good to see Mitch Bolden now come on out. I'll tell you what, you want to talk about, just an absolute dominance of a game performance last week. 12 of 18 for 224 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, he also ran for 70 yards and a touchdown against Mason. So this kid can really, really do it all. True dual threat at quarterback for Lakota West tonight.
Had a hell of a game a week ago. In fact, Coach Bolden in his Firebirds show on Monday said it might have been his best effort with 300-plus yards of total offense. Twins to each side. They faked the end around, and now the home run down the side for a fire. He's got it in stride. Does he have the distance? No, he let it go, and he picks it up inside the 10-yard line. So he let it go. That should have been 6. Instead, it's 1st and goal.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Alex Safari will go back and see it on the replay right here. I think he might have been peeking towards that end zone a little too quick there, Jeff. The home run ball, great ball placement by Mitch Bolden. Receivers got to get a little bit better spacing out there. Great job, but then right there, he's just holding that thing out there like a loaf of bread. You can't do that. Got to be much more fundamentally sound to Lakota West and take advantage of those opportunities.
54 yards on the catch and run. 1st and goal as we're inside the Cincinnati Reds red zone. Here's Gumbo off left tackle, pushing inside the 5, and will come up with 2nd down. For breaking news and behind-the-scenes content, follow the Reds on social. You can look at them on Twitter for their handle @Reds. So Gumbo getting his first touch of the night. And he's been a home run threat. I think 10 touchdowns coming on in. He sets up right at the quarterback, Mitch Bolden, on 2nd down. Movement on the line, and they're going to stop the play. A little finishing thought here on Cam Good as we finish up. 81 attempts coming into this ballgame for 429 yards. Those are, of course, team-leading numbers. 8 touchdowns rushing. He does have a receiving touchdown, so 9 touchdowns as we speak. And we wind up the clock. It's motion against the defense, and it's 2nd and goal. Bolden changing the play at the line. Could he give Gumbo his 9th of the year on the ground? And the give, it goes to Gumbo, off right tackle, into the teeth of the defense. He does not have the touchdown. And a big stop in the middle. Janelle Lattimore is right there in the middle, along with Josh Mompton.
Good job by the goal line defense of Fairfield right now. They've shut down Lakota West here on 2 opportunities. They even had that encroachment penalty. So big 3rd down here for Lakota West. Got to get that touchdown on the board early on.
And a big 3rd down coming up. 3rd and goal for a team that's in the mid-30s as far as 3rd down percentage this year. Bolden motions a man, and now it's Safari off the left side to the goal line. He is short, and a big decision here 2 minutes deep into this ball game. Do you kick for what is a glorified extra point as a field goal, or do you go?
Looks like he's going to go ahead and say, I'm going to take the points right now. And I'll tell you what, it should be a 6-0 football game had Alex Safari not fumbled that football. Lucky was able to receive it back. But, again, very stout and very good sound goal line defense by the Indians, able to regroup after the big play and then, force them into this situation. Oh, looks like they're going for it.
They are going for it. It's a full house. The Rhino package as Bolden ducks in under center. And here we go as he gives to the deep man. He's in! 6-0 West. So Gumbo gets his 9th, 6-0 with 9:19 left to go here in this first.
Just a great drive and able to strike very quick. And that was one thing that Coach Bolden had mentioned, really talking about the Hamilton game, actually, in his coaches, so that they were able to start fast. And against a team like Fairfield that does have weapons, they are able to stop plays. And, they had a 1-point loss to Princeton just a week ago. So, really, good job by both sides, but again, that fast start is what is key for Coach Bolden's team. Getting off, the ball fast, starting fast, and getting quick scores.
Hannah Duncan powers it through, 7-0. On a drive that was very odd to watch. It soaks up just about a minute and a half, about a minute 40 off the clock. 5 plays, it goes 61 yards to punch in for good. He gets his 9th on the year. And the brand new score here in West in Beckett Ridge, 7-0. And this is a far cry from what we saw a year ago. The last time these two teams met, it was in Fairfield On September 18th, the Firebirds scored 3 times in a 5-minute span in the fourth quarter to beat the Indians 21-7. Alex Safari had a 30-yarder, a pick 6 on a play that, if I recall, Talon Fisher was injured in the win on that one. But before that spurt, it was a 7-0 shutout being pitched by Fairfield in that game for just about 3.5 quarters.
And they come into this game, believe me, they remember that night. They remember last night. Even Coach Krause was talking to us about it last week, so I'm sure that was a huge motivating factor for the Indians coming into tonight's game.
Josh Barnell will kick it away. I believe that was actually Bone, and this one will dance into the end zone for a touchback. So a little indecision out at the 5-yard line by who might take it. Instead, it bounces in, and it'll be 1st and 10 coming up. As we mentioned, Talon Fisher, 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, a sophomore, 46 of 90 this year, passing for 51%, 708 yards. He's got 7.9 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, but 8 interceptions, and a rating of 106.7. His name of the game, though, is rushing the ball. He gets 5.5 yards per tote.
Yeah, you're going to see kind of two dual threats, but one thing I will say is you cannot turn the ball over against this Lakota West offense. We just saw what they can do very quickly right there, so he's going to have to really hone in on his passing game here tonight.
Trying to see if it's Kieran Love in the backfield or if it's Jordan Jackson. Talon Fisher waiting to get his first snap of the night. Triples to the top side. And the sleight of hand and the keeper for about a yard out to the right side. Cleaning him up out there was Ben Minnick, coming up one of the starting safeties. Asbeck also in there on that one, and again, he gets his first start of the year tonight, and it's been quite a progression for him. On 2nd down, we'll call it a long 7. Fisher on a roll right. The left-hander throws down the field wide open! Inside the 40-yard line for Michael Figgins.
And I think that's really the first time all year long I have seen this secondary get truly beat and truly out of position. So, again, great job, great opportunity by Fairfield here now. Got the ball into Lakota West territory. Got to capitalize on here to match that quick score from Lakota West.
Big passing plays have punctuated this ball game so far. That's a pickup of 34. Triples to the bottom of your screen. Fisher calls for it. He won't delay, and it's Jackson off left tackle on a little second spurt there. He runs into the team's leading tackler this year, Aiden Miller.
And I'll tell you what, I was kind of spying Aiden Miller that entire play. The way he's able to see the football, but then able to see and react to it. That's key. He was actually playing his Mike position back a little bit on that play, and that gave him that vision to go see it. He planted his foot and made the tackle. This kid can fly around the field all over the place, Jeff.
Coming in with 44 tackles, that's 45, 32 solos, and he's got a couple sacks. So he has been everywhere around the field. So 2nd, we'll call it 5 as West shows blitz and we've got motion. We had mentioned at the top of the broadcast, as it is a false start against the offense, that Lakota West is 5-1. They've won 5 in a row. It's 2-3 for visiting Fairfield, though a 1-point loss has been kind of in the craw of the head coach, Jason Krause. He feels like if he has that one, it's a little bit of a different season right now.
He had 2 extra points blocked in that game, which was, essentially the reason why he lost it. And then honestly, he even said his game against Sycamore, he got almost 20-some-odd guys back from COVID protocol on the Thursday before. He was even questioning, should we play that game? So this team has the talent. They've just had some adversity happen to them. But, again, that's why this can be that trap game for Lakota West. You got to be careful with them.
Triples to the bottom of your screen. Jackson with a head full of steam. Nearly got it with the ball is out. Here's a scoop up. It's still loose, and it's still loose. Here's the scoop for West. In the space is that Brown. Hooray for Hollywood. He doesn't quite make the end zone. A flag comes out at the end of the play. And we'll have to sort it out as it's a turnover on the scoop end and the near score for Jair Brown.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a very impressive play there by Jair Brown. Great fundamentals, get the scoop and score, and, a really hard and really, not a great tackle there at the end. The horse collar, which I'm assuming is what it's going to be.
So he is just short of the goal line. He was knocked out just about inside the 2-yard line. And it'll be first and goal as we re-enter the Cincinnati Reds red zone. Big league moments, big league plays, and legendary vibes. Catch the action at reds.com/tickets. 6:56 left to go. A little conference call as far as probably where they wanted to spot the ball. It was against Fairfield, so I would imagine half the distance to the goal line.
Yeah, they called that horse collar play. Flag there, excuse me. And yeah, they'll move it right up to the 1-yard line now.
So a yard away from pay dirt. They got good on the last one on 4th down. Let's see if they get him. Go to him again. Aiden Miller is in the backfield. He lines up as a wingback in that Rhino. It's a triple option look here at the goal line for Lakota West. And we got a flag before Cameron Good can enter the goal line and the end zone. It's against Fairfield, so half the distance.
You know, I just caught Coach Bouchap over to my right here, the offensive coordinator for Lakota West. He was frustrated on that because we're so used to the NFL where, you know, an encroachment, you let him play, right? Mm-hmm. He had that touchdown right there. He stood up. He was not happy with that call.
Again, first and goal. The center point is Cam Good. And the quarterback keeping, diving for the goal line, touchdown! Mercy! 13-0 West.
Mitch the money man Bolden right there takes it himself, calls his own number, does just a classic just quarterback sneak. Used to call this the old barrel roll. Just turn around and roll right over and on top of your offensive lineman. Great job by Lakota West capitalizing on the turnover by the Fairfield Indians, and that's the one thing I said in the keys to the game that Fairfield could not do was commit turnovers.
The lefty Tyler Bone on the kick. We saw Hannah Duncan the last time out. And they do go lefty-righty as the lefty Bone powers it through for 14-0. Unofficially, one play does it all. Officially, after the penalties. One play, 1 yard. Money Mitch, his 5th of the year. Point after is good. The brand new score here in Beckett Ridge, 14-0. And that, by the way, that officially took 5 seconds off the clock.
I was going to say, that didn't take much time. So, you know, if you're Coach Krause right now, you got to really just kind of get your guys in, settle them down. Reiterate what you've done well. Hey, guys, look, we've punctured their secondary. Okay, we know we can do that. We've moved the ball down the field. We got it. Hey, one bad turnover. Let's forget about it. Let's regroup. And it's like Coach Krause said, this is going to be that test tonight. Have we taken that step as a program to get back to where they were in 2018 and 2019? Well, right now, how do you face adversity? That's the number one test of any great football program. How do you react to that adversity? So this is a big drive right now. Got to settle them down. A lot of football left to play. It's only 14-0. We saw it with the Bengals last night. 14-0 is not a big league at all. So, you know, you're still right in this ball game if you're Coach Krause and the Fairfield Indians.
Tyler Sparnell to kick things away. So Nate Hanna is back there as one of the deep men for Fairfield. He gets the ball at the 1. Angles to the right, to the 10, out to the 15. Spun around out towards the 20-yard line. So a good return for Nate Hanna. And we're trying to see the number. See, this is the thing when you have some of these numbers obscured as players are prone to pull up their jerseys. That's 37. Henry Lee, or is it Noah Ramey? We've got 2 37s on the roster, believe it or not. Go figure.
I think Coach Bolden's just trying to mess with us, man.
So the second straight time, Fairfield starts from their own 20. And they go 4 wide, as they are known to do here in the offense. West showing blitz. And off the right side, a big hole initially, and good yardage on first down. Juster's Fataki at 5'10", 180 pounds, a sophomore. He's in the rotation at running back. It's Juster's. We talked about Jordan Jackson. We also talked about Kieran Love, who's a Mr. Everything for this Fairfield team. $14-0 here at West, very quickly. They empty out the backfield. 5 wide. Triples on the bottom side. And a good throw over the middle. Flag on the play. Alex Safari was the first one to meet him, and then he got some help on the stop after that, but we'll have to sort out the flag.
Yeah, right now, Fairfield is moving that ball methodically. See what this flag is here from the head referee.
Well, it's against Fairfield. What did we just see there?
So what you had there was an illegal man downfield, a loss of down, and so it'll move them back. So it'll actually be third down now for Fairfield. That's a tough penalty because you lose that down, Jeff. And that's a very, very difficult thing now. You move it to third down. It'll be 3rd and 10 now as opposed to 2nd and 10. Shoot, take the penalty. Give me the down back, right?
And what do we talk about coming into the ballgame? About penalties.
Yeah. And that's one thing that Fairfield has kind of done all year long is they just kind of shot themselves in the foot. He's got Coach Krause has a young squad. They're trying to get the ship headed in the right direction. They're almost there. They're just a few degrees off at this point.
Off the right side, it's a little give to Nate Hanna. The speedster gains a few, but it's going to be 3 and out.
And so see right there, this is how impactful that loss of down was. You gain that yardage back you lost on the penalty in that play. You should be looking at about 3rd and 5 right now. Now you're looking at 4th and 5. So again, you get off schedule then with your offensive play calling. It's really difficult to get back in a groove there. That's why those type of penalties right there especially are drive killers.
Ball's officially at the 25-yard line. Kieran Love is the punter for this team. Averaging about 35 yards per kick, as long as 45 this year. He's punched the ball inside the 23 times this season as Jair Brown is waiting inside his own 45-yard line. He had a heck of a return the last time. In fact, this game has been punctuated already, partner, by big plays that didn't end up in scores. The last one by Brown that set up 1st and goal got him inside the 2-yard line. And, of course, you had the Alex Safari reception who lost the ball like it was a greased pig, inexplicably came out of his hands. He recovered, and they were able to punch in 4 plays later.
So, yeah, it's been a game of big plays right now. And so now, this is where it's going to get kind of gritty, when teams start settling down and start establishing these type of drives. And, right now Coach Krause, I think, is still trying to plead his case on that illegal man downfield. I'm guessing that's what the conference was over on the far sideline.
Very seasoned, very savvy Jason Krause in his 26th year as a head coach. A University of Dayton product, came out of Edgewood, has a couple degrees in education. So here's Kieran Love out at his own 10-yard line. Jair Brown will walk away from it. He'll play back to it, and it takes a roll for Fairfield, and a good one. All the way down to the 31-yard, they're going to call it the 32. 43 yards on the punt, nothing on the return, and it'll be another opportunity for Lakota West to, I don't want to say it's a shocker that they're up 14-0. I think the manner in which they've done it, that's the shocking part.
Well, I think that's the big thing. These quick hitters that Lakota West has had. Even Coach Bolden, in his coach's show, had said, this is going to be one of those gritty, tough it out type of games. And I think everybody, like you said, I'm shocked with the big plays. Now we've seen Lakota West do that though. Throughout the year, they can hit those big home run balls. They have the athletes to do it. Just shocked that we saw it here, in the first couple minutes.
Bolden out of the gun. He'll throw on 1st down, and it goes to Trent Lloyd, who picks up his first reception of the night. Trent this season picks up his 13th reception, coming in with 137 yards and a touchdown. He had been hurt and out of a couple games after the St. X game. As we go triples to the bottom and on 1st down. And it's a running play for Cam Good, looking for the sideline 1st down.
Running off the edge there. I mean, when you have Tegra Shabola, who's 6'6", 330, I'll tell you what, the Ohio State guy, left tackle, that's a heck of an edge setter right there to get off that side.
Big dude, and you think about what his nickname is, Master T.
Well, I tell you what, he's the master right now of pushing people around on that left side for Lakota West.
It's Bolden out of the gun. He wants to throw. He wants the home run. Deep middle. It is picked off at the 15-yard line. So playing out there in space, KV Bivens, the linebacker who also has enough speed to play defensive back. He was out there in deep coverage and gets the pick.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the replay right here. One of the few, mistakes here by just Mitch Bolden. Gets a good block off the left side by Cameron Good. Steps up. Thought he'd make a great throw. He had a receiver open, but just way overshot him. And, again, just an errant pass by Mitch Bolden. He had some pressure in there, but, he can step up and make those throws. That is just, just like I said, an errant pass really by Mitch. But, gosh, that's got to be his first mistake I've seen him make in a while, Jeff.
Yeah, he was awfully good the last few weeks. I mean, we've now had the pleasure of seeing him now in his fourth game as they show blitz off the edge and, wrestled down.
Great pressure there by the Lakota West defense. Able to get in there. That's something they've done all year long. Tyler Hall's the new defensive coordinator. Really came in here and really started moving this defense around. The movement up front is what I really like. I've seen it a couple of times here, taking Jacob Asbeck, put him down the line of scrimmage. So they're doing a lot of different things defensively within this 3-3-5 scheme.
Second, and we'll call it 13 on the loss. The give to Jordan Jackson. Trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, the original one, and got a few more. A pickup of 5 to bring up third and hopefully manageable. This is already, by the way, the third drive of the night for Fairfield, and this is their best starting position of the night. So what does that tell you? It means that they need to get out of their own end, and if nothing else, even if you don't score, switch to field position.
Right, and the way you do that is you got to be dynamic. You got to be dynamic on offense and start switching up. I would like to see him maybe try and penetrate that secondary a little bit more again. But right now, they're just in these third and long situations, which you're not going to be able to move the ball very far when you when you're in those type of situations.
Roll left Fisher, throwing for the sideline. It is incomplete. Intended for Nate Hanna, and he threw it so high that Nate would have had to have been 8 foot tall to get that one.
Well, he had a receiver open down the field. He had Mike Figgins, number 17. When you roll out like that, you and I were talking about in the pregame, that's a tough throw to make. He had a step. Figgins had a step down on the field, and it would have been a big pickup. But, again, that's just a really, really tough throw for a quarterback to make on that sprint-out game.
2:30 frozen on the clock, and this will be a fourth possession tonight for Lakota West. So a lot of exchanges of the ball, quick scores tonight by the Firebirds as they're up 14-0 here in Beckett Ridge. Kieran Love under duress, but he'll play it for Jair Brown. He gets away out at the 35 momentarily, and they cut back, and Fairfield caught back up to him. Quentin Gem, I believe, was the guy who got him eventually, but he did do a little dipsy-do move like we saw in the Hamilton game.
Yeah, and he's got those type of moves, and that's what makes him such a dynamic football player out there. When you're able to do that, and it's so natural for him. It comes so naturally. It's almost looking like he's on a dance floor just dancing with his feet. It's truly impressive to see what he can do night in, night out.
By the way, Jair on his Instagram site posted a video that our own Bailey Osborne had produced. Twins on each side, and while we have the flag, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So what it was, I don't want to call it a hype video. I mean, you have somebody as good as Jair, you want to be able to highlight him and have memories, if nothing else, for your family. And, I felt very privileged to have a call on that. It was the 55-yard punt return that he housed, and that made that highlight reel. So 1st and 15 on the false start. And Mitch will keep up the middle. Big yards, and he has a first down, and the ball came out at the end. It rolls out of bounds, out past the 50-yard line. So we'll see where they spot that. So it was 1st and 15. Mitch had picked up about 18 of those yards and then add on about another 5, and it's 1st down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Bolden just gave Mitch an earful about that, and I saw it. He was holding that ball out there like a loaf of bread. He said, Mitch, get that ball down high and tight, man. Come on. Because that was a fumble, and I saw it the second he took off. I'm like, ooh, man, he's got to take that down. But old dad down there gave him a little talking to real quick.
Fishy a gain of 23 on the run and the fumble out of bounds afterwards. Well, it's like a greased pig tonight with Safari, mishandling what should have been 6 for him. Play action. Mitch wants to throw downfield, and he is dropped. Sacked back at the 47-yard line. Josh Moppin, one of the defensive ends, in on the stop.
Yeah, poor block off the left edge there by the running back, Cameron Good. He was in pass protection responsibility there and really just did not get a great block off the man coming off the edge. He had the time to step up, and he was about to step up and make that throw. He had receivers open downfield, but they got to shore up that backfield blocking to have the time to make those type of plays develop.
Triples out to the top of your screen. Udi's Gonzalez in the backfield with Mitch Bolden. Jair Brown to the bottom of your screen as a solo wide receiver. Looking Jair's way, a little hitch pass out there, and he picks up 5 on the play. Stopped out there. Bivens was out there, and I think that's who made the stop. KV Bivens.
KV Bivens, his ability to move from side to side, sideline to sideline, all over the place just makes him a really, truly special football player. Right now we're seeing, Lakota West they're kind of getting off schedule a little bit here right now with the way they're running the football as we close in on the end of the first.
Third down coming up. Bivens, a little dummy call, and now he gets the ball looking right, steps up, throws, and it is complete to Trent Lloyd for the 1st down. Out to the 24-yard line. Move the chains.
Great play design there by Coach Bauchamp and Coach Bolden. You had a deep, an intermediate, and then the sideline pass there to get. But the key to it, all the routes went to the 1st down marker. So when you get that, you're going to have that. You're going to be able to get the ball for a 1st down. Great job by Lakota West right there.
1st and 10 as they spot the ball out at the 34-yard line, and they're on the move. They motion Gonzalez back into the backfield as an H-back. And the give, it goes to Good, who's got space up the middle. He lost the ball. And now it's been regained. Or did Good even have it in the first place? Was he a decoy?
I think Cameron Good had it. I was a little bit obstructed here, but I believe Cameron Good had it. And I'm not sure if it touched the ground or if we were just kind of seeing the same thing. Hard to tell.
Under 10 seconds to play here in this first quarter. The throw out to the 1-yard line. He goes back to his favorite receiver and Trent Lloyd, 1st and goal coming up.
He took a hit there.
He sure did. They go right to the line and see if they can beat the clock. They will not. And time has run out here in this first period. Your score after 12 minutes here in Beckett Ridge, 14-0 in favor of Lakota West. Here it's the GMC on Chatterbox Plus. "12 minutes in the book in a fast-moving first quarter, 14-0 here in Week 7 of the GMC here from Beckett Ridge. It's a GMC matchup between Fairfield, the Indians at 2-3, and Lakota West trying to repeat as GMC champions, 5-1, winning 5 in a row coming into this ballgame.
See what they can do here on the goal line. They really wanted to get that ball off, get it down, get a touchdown in the end zone score side, I guess. I'm not sure, or the scoreboard side of the field, but big opportunity here for West to really kind of blow this thing open.
They do change sides to the south end zone. Money Mitch in the huddle, trying to put his team up by 3 scores. It's Good in the backfield with them. Single wideouts to each side. And Mitch will keep it himself for 20-0. His second score of the night.
Oh, Mitch Bolden does it again. Calls his own number. Quarterback sneak off the left side. Great drive, and now this game, I think, you can call it, it's officially blown itself open now. Lakota West has struck quick, they've struck often, and they've taken advantage of the opportunities that have been given to them by the Fairfield Indians.
It'll be Hannah Duncan who scored back in the first quarter. And again, Lakota West alternating kickers this year on extra point attempts, and she is up and through. 21-0. So if you want to think about it this way, in this matchup between these two teams, going back to last year, West has scored the last 42 points in just about 2 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild to actually think about it when you go all the way back to last year. But this is something that West has done all year long. The first quarter, they're plus 49 right now in the first quarter, plus 67 in the second quarter. So, they've always been able to strike fast and start fast. I think that's one of the keys that Coach Bolden was talking about earlier in the week was their ability to get going and get going quickly. And when you're able to do that, the opponent now is playing catch up from the get-go. And that's tough to do. It's tough to call plays when you're playing catch-up. It's tough to it's a hard position to be in when you're an offensive coordinator and a head coach.
Drive soaked up 2 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock. 7 plays, 66 yards. The capper, the Bolden touchdown. His second of the night. And his 6th of the year. Point after is good, 21-0. And boom, powers it into the end zone. Touchback. So we haven't seen Tyler Bone on kickoffs, or at least if I might not have been paying attention well. We saw Sparnell actually kick off, who's been kicking off. Tyler Sparnell had gotten 3 extra points in the opening, the opening couple of games. And then he's been taken off of kicking duty from that standpoint, but he's been on kickoffs, and it's been Bone and Duncan ever since.
Well, I've talked about it all year long. When you have a kicker that's able to kick it out of the end zone consistently like that in high school football for an automatic touchback, that's a godsend. That's a true asset to your team and for your defense, really, as well.
They go triples in a stack to the top side, and they now motion a man. The quarterback keeping up the middle. He's got 5 yards on the play. Looked like Brian Henderson might have gotten the first stab at him.
I think really, looks like we got a Fairfield player slow to get up. Looks like there might be one of their linemen.
Well, I think actually I mentioned Henderson's name. It might have also been Elijah Davis, who we got a chance to talk with on Monday. In fact, Elijah, and bless him, he and Mitch sat with me for 45 minutes, never once looked like they were squirming to get out of their seats. So I was very, very thankful for their kind conversation. And thanks also to Elijah's family, Mom Stacy, Dad Linnell, and Brother Tyson. In fact, Dad Linnell had very kind words to say about our broadcast, because he would be at the games, obviously, to support his son, but go back and watch them afterwards.
That's awesome. That's awesome you got that type of support.
Nowhere to go, a loss in the backfield.
And guess who that was? That was Jacob Asbeck. Came up rolled him down to the left, really a left end position, came in there and snuffed that play out like he's done consistently all year long, and that's why he earned that starting position tonight.
He's the little engine that could, and it's not to disparage his size, right? I mean, Jacob is 5'11", 170 pounds, just a sophomore. He's going to grow into that body.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
he's already got a nose for the ball.
Oh, the way he plays so aggressively as well. I mean, he's got a very bright football future ahead of him here at Lakota West.
Fisher will throw on 3rd down, looking right, and he runs out of time. Drop back at the 20-yard line.
Well, in that situation right there on 3rd down, you have to make a play. You have to throw the football. You got to figure out where the ball is going to go. You cannot take a sack and take yardage like that and go backwards. It's just one of those things. They had guys open, but you got to figure out a way to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. I don't know whether that's designing up doing something a little bit different offensively for Fairfield, but they got to figure out a way to get the ball in there. Ooh.
Little low squibber that is lucky to hit nobody from West because they had a lot of backs to the ball, and this one comes to an end inside the 50, out to about, we're going to call it the 48-yard line. 35 yards on the punt, nothing on the return.
Yeah, that's a really tough tough play there. You know, a low line drive kick like that can be demoralizing. You know, all it takes is just to tap one of the Lakota West players, and that's a live football then going for Fairfield.
So knowing where you are in the game and the score on the board with how much time, do you go up top on play number one?
You know, with 21-0, up 21-0, no. And here's the reason why. I'm going to right now try and get into my offense, get into a rhythm. I want to establish a drive, grind out this clock. Up 21 points, probably not going to take a deep shot here.
They motion Lloyd, and it's triples to the top, and the give off left tackle to Cam Good. A head full of steam as he gains 7 on the play. Cameron Good.
Man, I'll tell you what, Cam Good, just the way he runs the football, he gets nice and low in the hole, then he just keeps those feet turning, Jeff, and turning to pick up yardage. You think, he's going to be hit. He turns and burns for another 2 to 3 yards, and that's huge when you got a running back that can do that.
A week ago, did get into the end zone, but had 14 carries for just 26 yards, a little uncharacteristic for Cam. And he had been nursing and may still be nursing a little bit of an ankle injury right now. Empty out the backfield. Bolden will run. He'll keep. He has the first down across the 40-yard line. So, again, good legs. It wasn't exactly a designed run. He did look around. I think he did have happy feet as Trent Stevenson brought him to rest.
Well, he's got to make that decision just a little bit quicker, Jeff. He's going to take that down. He had a great running lane. It kind of collapsed on him, though, there, and he was able to break a tackle. But if he sees that quicker, pulls it down, he might be in the end zone for all I know.
Remy's flank to the top side, triples to the top side. And they throw to the right to Trent Lloyd. Out in space. Yep. Space contained. Flag on the play. He may have gained a yard for his 4th reception, but let's see what the flag is. It came from the offensive backfield.
I think you're going to get a block in the back, and that's exactly what it was. Or an offensive holding on the far side there when he caught that ball. That receiver that was trying to make the block there on the screenplay just grabbed some jersey and honestly got in the back of his defender a little bit.
Eli's Sports Bar and Grill proudly sponsors high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli's Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun. You and I were out there about a week and a half ago at the Ross location, and what a night that was.
Absolutely. Great food. What really good food out there.
First, and we'll call it 21. Bolden to throw in and out of the hands of Afari, who looked upfield as he was bringing the ball in.
That's 2 mistakes right there on the night by Afari, or at least 2 plays that you grade out on a minus or a double minus on the fumble there on the first play of the game. So, he's got to kind of recheck himself a little bit here, get zeroed back in and get refocused for this offense now.
So incomplete, 2nd and 21 out at the 49-yard line. You need to get inside the 30, out to the 28-yard line for the line to gain. Deep drop for Bolden with time. He steps up, he throws, it's complete, out to the far side, and a first down. And a bunch more out on that far sideline.
Well, I got to give the big boys up front credit on that play there, man. Tony Curtis, Caden Fletcher, Tegra Shabola, great job. You'll see it on the replay right there. Just of the offensive line giving Mitch Bolden time to make that play down the field. Tell you what, that's just huge. When you're able to step up and give your quarterback enough time to see the entire field, step up and make a throw, and Mitch is going to make that throw every single time if you give him the time to do it, and that's what they did right there.
They don't have an answer right now for Trent Lloyd, who's lined up in a slot to the left. Mitch will throw, or he's looking to throw. Now he'll keep. Another flag on the play as he looks for the sideline, looking to turn the corner out towards the 10, but let's see what the flag is. With 7:52 left to play in this first half, 21-0 Lakota West.
Looks like I got a hold on that far side. So this is one of those things. Penalties start to play a little factor in this game as well. They played a factor in the Mason game last week. And now here we see them. This is twice now on this drive that they've been pushed back due to penalties. So a little uncharacteristic here, Jeff, of Lakota West.
So they'll back it up. And we've seen Lakota West be prone to these mental lapses, especially pre-snap or on holds when they're making progression down the field.
Yeah, they kind of get into like mental lapse or just a mental lockup or something like that. We'll see what they can do here on first and a mile.
Doubles on each side, and now they motion Gonzalez back to the line and line him as an H-back to the right. And now this one over the head, and this one is still loose. Again, a greased pig tonight. Fairfield says they have it. They do. Out at the 40-yard line. It got away from Bolden on a really odd bounce backwards, and Matthew Humbarger comes up with it.
Well, again, just another error there. Tony Curtis, just a bad snap by the center. And that's really, I'm trying to think, Jeff, in the games we've done, that's about the first bad snap I've seen out of him all year long right now. So, again, we've seen it in cut. We saw it in the Hamilton game. We saw a little bit in the Princeton game, but they just kind of get in a mental block there, especially when they're driving. So that's something that they're really going to have to shore up on. What an opportunity now for Fairfield to hopefully get some points up on the board before halftime.
Talon Fisher out of the gun, twins to each side. Here's the give. Jordan Jackson explodes for 9 yards on the play. He does have a burst. He picked up 135 yards a week ago against Hamilton and moved the chains.
The burst is what is key. When he hits that hole, the burst that comes out of him is key. And that was the reason he was able to get into the second level there of the defense.
Coming up at the half, we'll be joined by Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. He'll give us an update, a state of the state, if you will, of the school. And then another loose ball, this time for Talon Fisher, who has a jump on it. So, partner, it's a little warm tonight to say that there's condensation and a wet ball, but the way both teams have reacted to the pigskin tonight, you think there's Vaseline on the pigskin.
Something, man. I'll tell you what, and this is just like I said, this is unusual. We haven't seen a game with this many loose footballs just flying around from the very first play until just now. It's been like that all night long. So that's going to be a big factor going into the second half.
A loss of 3 on the play. Jackson, this time he has nowhere to go.
Great job by the Lakota West defense. And one thing that they do, and they're so disciplined of doing, is they play heel depth at the line of scrimmage. They don't over-penetrate. They sit there, and they're able to see the ball coming to them and make great tackles in the backfield.
Now, last stop was Owen Kaufman, by the way. And Owen's played some good minutes here down the stretch of the season. Listed as a linebacker at 6'1", 210 pounds, a senior. So 3rd and 13 after the no gain, and a roll right for Fisher as he cannot get away. And it was at Kaufman again who leveled him, and Kaufman is down. So he's a little slow to get up. He's now on his feet, and that's a stop.
Great job there by Kaufman getting in, making the tackle. Alex Afari also coming in from his position, getting his mix in there. Looks like he's just kind of limping off. He'll hopefully walk that one off on the sidelines. But great stop there by Lakota West. That's exactly what they needed to do to get that ball back and finish the unfinished business of their last drive.
So punt from their own 49 coming on up. Jair Brown from the 22. And he cannot break contain in a flag at the end of the play. It looked like the flag came off the ball. So Nate Hanna went down there, and Hanna's been able to run down Jair. That's not an easy task.
No, that's not. That is not at all. Jair's just got that breakaway speed, and he can fly. I'm trying to see what the penalty is.
And it did come from the near sideline, from the Lakota West side of things. So as of right now, the ball is spotted at the 25.
I didn't see anything.
Looked like the umpire was beckoning Lakota West to come on out. They may have picked up the flag. So they'll spot it at the 25. 1st and 10 with under 5 to play. Trent Lloyd is a single wide receiver. He's a split end to the left. You and I had a pleasure of seeing him a couple weeks ago on his birthday score a touchdown. How often can you say that as this one goes nowhere.
Well, as a former offensive lineman, I can officially say never.
So it's a loss on the play, a loss of 1 as the clock continues to melt towards 4.5 minutes. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll be joined by Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. A state of the state here in Beckett Ridge. Girls tennis, I believe for the whole conference, is in tournament action this weekend. So we'll get an update on all the sports here in the area. The throw to the left side. It is complete to Lloyd again. He has been wide open. And did we see another bit of laundry out on the field as well?
My goodness. So they're giving them the first down. Check out the replay here. Another great completion to Lloyd there. I mean, and you're right, Jeff. They have not been able to shut him down. They got to figure something else to just shut him down one way or another. That's been his favorite target here tonight.
Bolden to the throw, the home run out to the far side, incomplete. I think they were looking for a Hollywood on that far sideline.
Had a step on there for a second. You know, one thing I'm noticing, with the play calling that I'm seeing from Lakota West, it's been very, I don't want to use the word, necessarily dynamic, but it's been kind of all over the place. So you had a lot of runs, a lot of passes, and it's been good because they've been getting it down the field. But again, the rhythm I don't think is quite there yet for Lakota West.
Good job by East Fataki to stay step in step with them. Doubles to the near side, and now they motion Gonzalez to the left as an H-back, and they now come left. It's good. Off left tackle. Into space! He's got a first down and more inside the 35 to the 30, and another flag at the end of the play as well. Mercy.
Well, I'll tell you what, that hole was big enough to drive a Mack truck through, man. I mean, that was just huge. You'll see it on the replay coming up here. And Cameron Good just has a great vision off the left side, gets a great block by Gonzalez. He's going to come up in the hole, and then bam, he just sees it, plants his foot, gets right upfield, streaking down the sideline just like he's done all year long.
They set the edge on that left side, and that's a tough one if you're Fairfield, because when they line up on offense doing the same thing, they go counter to the right.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're kind of seeing the tale of two different offenses a little bit. You're absolutely right on that one, Jeff. But, man, just what a great job. I'm not sure what the conversation is on the field right now.
Well, I don't know what the dirty laundry was, but it doesn't affect the play as the ball's at the 28-yard line. So pick up a 37 for Cam Good. Doubles to each side, and now, again, they motion Gonzalez back to the line. And this time they'll go a little trap play behind the center, Tony Curtis, and a few yards. So you kind of figured that was coming, given the fact that they've motioned Gonzalez twice.
Yeah, they kind of set that play up with the motion there, got the inside running game going now in that hurry-up offense.
Pickup of 6, Umbarger gets a stop, and again, the motion Gonzalez, and Good off the right side. Breaks contain initially. Inside the 20. As we're back inside the Cincinnati Reds red zone. For real-time news and exclusive content, follow the Reds on social. And the Reds did get knocked out of the wild card chase this week. It was a good run for the folks of the Queen City this year.
Yeah, it was. Definitely frustrating down the end, but I mean, hard to compete with the Cardinals, man, the way that they just absolutely turned the burners on in the late season.
Well, St. Louis had won 17 in a row, and, I'm old enough to say that doesn't happen very often.
It does not, no. I mean, that's incredibly impressive by St. Louis.
Whistle stopping play, and we've got these pre-snap, or is it a timeout?
Looks like it's another timeout.
It is a timeout, and it's charged to Lakota West. Coming up at the half, we will chat with Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman, who will update us on the happenings around his school and not just football as we're seeing tonight. And if your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling, for a comfortable way of life. We are comfortable here in Beckett Ridge tonight. 2:20 left to go till halftime. 21-0 in favor of Lakota West. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. The production twins are back in the booth with us here tonight. Kevin Miller, Zach Teeters, our main men. They were on assignment a week ago. And we're just glad that they're alive. Deep middle, complete touchdown!
Well, another great job pass blocking there by the Lakota West offense. You'll see the replay right there. Just another great job by Mitch to get up in there, step up, make a throw, and another great touchdown. And that's exactly what they did. They finished the unfinished business of their last drive when they were down here, when they had the fumble and the penalties.
So Ben Minnick gets the touchdown reception, his second of the year. Point after is good, 28-0, and we have broken this one open. That drive went 7 plays, 75 yards. It chewed up 2 minutes and 41 seconds off the clock. The touchdown reception by Minnick, his second, and the first of the night for Money Mitch Bolden. He has now thrown 10 touchdown passes this year.
Money Mitch has just really taken over control of this game. He's got 2 touchdowns himself on the ground. He's now thrown for another one. Again, you're looking at the dual threat ability that he provides to this offense. And when you're able to have that, Jeff, it really just adds another element that a defense has to prepare for now. So you're seeing it here. You've seen it from really the start to finish, or just start until where we're at right now from play number 1 of the night. Mitch has been on. Outside of the errant interception throw, he's had a fantastic night here tonight. The whole Lakota West offense really has. 28-0. This is not what I was expecting tonight, that's for sure.
We didn't mention, but both teams come in on winning notes from a week ago. 28-7 winners were the Lakota West Firebirds at Mason. And this one, pinwheels out to the 5. And that appears to be the speedster again, Nate Hanna, as he breaks contain. Out past the 30. Out to the 38-yard line. So we had seen something similar 2 weeks ago at Hamilton, where it looked like Elijah Givens from Hamilton ran into traffic, and as soon as that happened, he ran out of traffic. We nearly had a similar situation here tonight here in Beckett Ridge.
Well, and that's just great coaching, because what that is that's a coach going in there and telling, hey, look, you keep your feet turning, you get low, and you keep your feet moving. That's exactly what happened right there. Lakota West, they got to come in there and do the direct opposite. They got to get low, drive their feet when they're tackling. When you see guys spin out of that just means that you're not hitting it and you're not finishing through with your tackles.
Triples to the bottom of your screen. It looks like Jair Brown's trying to cover all of them.
It does.
He backs off. They'll play a little bit of zone. Give to the running back, maybe a yard. And we'll see if West will try to get the ball back on timeouts.
That's what I would do right now. Right now, if you're Coach Bolden, you have 2 timeouts left. You can't take them with you into the locker room. So I want that ball back. I want to try and put points up on this board again to go in with the biggest lead I can. Because we've said it time and time again. The Fairfield does have weapons that they can, if they can figure out a way to bring it all together, they can compete. We saw them compete against Princeton. Even the last year's game, was a very, very tight game as opposed to what we're seeing here.
Clock's rolling as Talon Fisher will throw into double coverage and incomplete. So Christian Jackson gets a target tonight, the split end, 6 foot tall, 175 pounds, a senior.
I'll tell you one thing for Lakota West, the play of Brian Henderson up front and Elijah Davis on the edge, and the penetration that they're able to get with the defensive line for Lakota West has really been a game changer for this game so far. Fairfield has not been able to figure anything out up front to tackle that.
Do you run here to keep the clock moving? No, they'll pass. And now they'll throw over the middle, incomplete, and you stop the clock now with 1:16 left to go till halftime, and Lakota West has another opportunity to score.
Well, and I get what you're kind of getting at there, Jeff. If I'm Coach Krause in that situation, I don't want to give that ball back to Lakota West, right? So, again, my coaching there would have been, with under a minute and a half left to go, guys, let's chew up as much clock as we can possibly can. Snap that football with 5 seconds left to go. Shoot, snap it with 2 seconds left to go on the play clock.
Kieran Love, they were coming. This one will die inside the 40-yard line, as Brown will not have an opportunity to get this one out to, they're going to spot it at the 36-yard line. So not much on the punt play, 25 yards, nothing on the return, but with 1:07 left to go, this is an opportunity for Mitch Bolden to see what he can do in a 2-minute drive.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole offense really right now, from Alex Afari to Jair Brown, you're going to get to see them right now in that kind of NASCAR mode, that hurry-up mode that, we've seen them in a little bit now, but now this will be a true 2-minute offense that you're going to see from Coach Bowchamp and Coach Bolden right now.
Well, a week ago, you really speak to this, right? Because they did get the ball late in the first half, and Bolden threw a dime to Jair Brown for the touchdown, and another completion to Trent Lloyd. Is that his 7th here in this first half?
I mean, I'm anxious to see the halftime stats. You're absolutely right. I mean, he has just been all over the place and been a great target all night long for Mitch Bolden. I mean, that's tough to do to defend if you're Fairfield. You got to figure out a way to shut him down. When you roll safety down, something's got to happen there.
Doubles to each side. 1:02 on the clock. Second down, and they'll stop the play before they can even get it going.
Yeah, looks like we got a false start there on Lakota West.
Well, and that's a shame for Trent Lloyd, who looked like he had another reception and plenty of room on that sideline. So a week ago, we were mentioning, with scant seconds left to go in the first half, beg your pardon, Bolden threw a dime against Mason under duress, and it was the back of the end zone on the left corner to Jair Brown, and that completely switched the momentum of the game. In that week, they went up by a touchdown, and then they scored coming out of the half, went up by 2, and that was that's all they wrote. So deep drop for Bolden on second down. He'll throw, and it's complete out at midfield across the 45-yard line, and a flag at the end of the play as Bivens came in, knocked down Jair Brown.
Well, I'll tell you what, that might have been one of the most impressive passes I've seen Mitch Bolden throw so far this year. Literally being taken down. And honestly, when he threw it, I said, oh my goodness, that's going to be a pick. No, don't do it. And he was able to, talk about ball placement there as you're being tackled. Wow. just a great job by Mitch Bolden. The awareness that he has, he's just getting better each and every week, Jeff. Each every week we see him, there's just another attribute to his game that he's just honing in on. Coach Bolden sees it, Coach Bowchamp sees it. So, he's got the skills right now to be a great, fantastic quarterback going into his senior year next year. He already is a fantastic one here tonight.
So tack on 15, 1st and 10 at the 30. Twins to each side, and it's Afari closest to us. Bolden looking his way, now steps up in the pocket. He does want to throw, now will hold on to it, and now that the ball come out, it did! Out across the 40-yard line, it's still loose. And Fairfield has recovered out of the 49-yard line. Again, a grease pig scenario. The ball came out as Bolden was in motion, trying to see who was at the bottom of the pile. And it looked like Bivens again.
Yeah, you'll see it there. It does look like Bivens came up with it, but, number 27 for Fairfield, Matthew Humberger, has been giving fits to Cam Good in the backfield all night long. And finally there, he was able to get it. Cameron Good gave up the inside lane on that and allowed Humberger to go right in and get that tackle and force the fumble. So again, now quick shift of momentum. If you're Coach Krause, hey, we're getting points on the board right here. I got 3 timeouts in my pocket. We got the ball. We're able to control this game now, or at least this next 30 seconds of this game are in our control. Let's capitalize off of it.
Well, we had seen Fisher in warmups this afternoon throw a little high on his throws. I would imagine running him out of the pocket and allowing him to let go with the ball and throw down the field will actually help him. Deep drop for Fisher. With time now steps up across the 50 and is pushed out of bounds. Aiden Miller, the team's leading tackler, on the stop.
Yeah, you know, right now, yeah, Talon Fisher, you know, he's got a little limp there, looks like, heading back to the huddle. But, you know, great job to get downfield on that play. Saw that nothing was open, took the ball and took it into his own hands to try and get as close to the first down as he can. He sets him up with a very makeable second down opportunity here. Right now, if I'm Coach Krause, I'm trying to get the first down. I want to get the first down, stop the clock again, get into, their territory more before I take a shot.
They motion Hannah, and now another throw, and this one, it's up and loose, and is it a fumble as Miller comes up with it? Out to the far side, down the sideline he goes, inside the 20, and a flag at the end of the play. So we'll have to see if this was a fumble or an incomplete pass.
So a lot of things going on there, and this might be one of those situations where there's replay. Well, we have replay here, but again, you look at it, hard to say whether he's in the motion of throwing or whether the ball came out from that angle. It's really difficult to say. But again, we got a flag right here on the sidelines that came literally from inside the Lakota West sideline. So I don't know what this is going to be now. Is it a side? It's obviously not just a sideline warning because it's coming back. And I'm wondering if they're calling this incomplete.
So the pass. This was an incomplete pass, right? This was something that was out to the side. Miller picked it up just in case it was officially listed as a fumble. Jeff Joy is tonight's referee. He's conferring with Roland Thompson, the umpire, here tonight. They called offsides on the defense.
Well, he went his hands behind the back, and I'm trying to remember what that signal means. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is some type of – I don't know. I really don't know what that signal is, but I'll do a little research here at halftime and try and figure that one out.
So 12 seconds left to go. And out of it, and Fisher mishandles it, and he is tackled. A loss on the play. As Mike Brandkamp, who's seeing his first action of the season, he was injured in one of the scrimmages, the Elders scrimmage, on the stop, and it's against visiting Fairfield. With 7 seconds left to go, do we have a timeout?
I believe Fairfield did take a timeout, yeah.
So Mike Brandkamp was injured against Elder, if I recall. I think I had seen that actually in person here, having seen both the Elder and the Sycamore scrimmages. And then this is the first time he's been able to get back on. We talked with Tom Bolden prior to the ball game, and he said that Mike will get some snaps tonight.
Well, that's great. Able to fight back from a pretty serious injury, obviously preseason. Now moving in, that's a great job by the training staff. Methodically getting him back to a healthy state to get back here in Week 7 and finish out, this year for Lakota West. Be a big asset now for that defense.
Well, and you think about it, this is a team that hasn't really been hurting for depth. Their starting 11 defensively have been awfully good. We've seen the emergence of Jacob Asbeck and some really good defensive backfield play. Malik Hartford, by the way, is getting looks from literally everyone right now, recruiting-wise. So second down. Fisher out of the gun, and we'll see if he'll throw towards the end zone. He'll step up deep middle. It's complete. Out at the 30-yard line, receiver taking it down to the 25-yard line. Christian Jackson on his first catch, and that is the end of this first half. It has been all Lakota West here in half number one. 28-0 here in Beckett Ridge. Coming on up here in this halftime, we'll be joined by Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. This is Week 7 action here in the GMC. Again, 28-0 West with the lead. Back with the halftime here on Chatterbox Plus. Well, we appear to have an untimed down, apparently a flag that you and I didn't see, so there's literally a tenth of a second left out on the clock. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. Tom Bolden, you see him in white, nicely adorned in the golf shirt here tonight, a little bit of a vest there, asking his own team and then looking out towards the huddle saying, what's going on?
Well, he's looking up at the coaches in the box going, did you guys see anything? Because I looked over and I saw the coaches throw off their headsets, so I know that they saw what we saw.
Which is nothing.
Which is nothing. So I don't know what it is. It's one of those mystery things I guess we may never know until after the game. But, yeah, we'll have an untimed down here, so another opportunity to get a field goal.
The ball's at the 27-yard line. This is a 44-yard attempt. It'll be for Aiden McGuire, I believe. The kick is up, away, pinwheeling through the goal, and good! And Fairfield is on the board to end the half.
Well, I'll tell you what, anytime you're able to get points going into halftime, I mean, that's a big momentum shift. I mean, wow, that's huge in my opinion for Fairfield. You know, great confidence boost going in there. It's a mystery to me what happened on that one there, Jeff.
And now we have reached the end of the half. Mercy, I got to tell you, sometimes, you just got to keep your head up when everybody's moving towards getting out onto the field as far as coaches are concerned and everybody behind us is moving. Well, that's what you get sometimes. 28-3 is your score here at the half. In about 1 minute from now, we'll be joined by Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. 28-3 is your score here. Week 7 here in the GMC on Chatterbox Plus. Partner, your thoughts coming into the second half?
Coming into this, Jeff, really, with what happened there at the end, again, not quite certain, for Lakota West on offense, right now they're their own worst enemy. You know what I mean? So, we've seen them now twice kind of get a little squirmish with the football and not completing drives late in that first half. So if I'm Lakota West, that's one of my keys is I want to finish every drive. We talk about, Coach Bolden's talking about for weeks, taking that next step as a big team. Well, that's how you're going to do it here tonight. Finish it. Cut out the penalties, cut out the fumbles, the interceptions, and finish this game like a great team should finish.
As we have the opening kick of the second half, Nate Hanna, 2 yards deep, try to take it out of the end zone. They won't allow him to do that in high school. Touchback.
Watch this a little bit too much Saturday football, but hey, one score, Jeff, which will have an impact for Lakota West. Louisville Trinity at the half was up on Cincinnati St. Xavier 13-10. St. Xavier just scored really quickly. It's now 16-13. So that's a really, really close game. The first one St. Xavier's had for a while. We know that obviously they got the best of Lakota West in week 1, but that could be a huge game come down to decide, the computer points and the home field advantage.
And if I recall, and you said Trinity, correct?
Louisville Trinity, yes.
They are a national power, not just a state power with them, as Fisher holds on to it, maybe a yard on the play.
Well, Louisville Trinity has always been one of the top teams in Kentucky. They were actually supposed to come up and play Moeller over in Norwood earlier this year, but due to COVID restrictions, weren't able to make the trek up here. So, yeah, the St. Xavier Bombers in a bit of a tussle right now down in Kentucky.
Well, there are days where home field does have its advantages, but right now, St. X showing their muscle, and in fact, I'm trying to remember where Max Preps had them, but I believe they're in a top dozen at this point. As
Definitely.
Fisher will throw on second down. He is dropped for a loss. So Brian Henderson there, I did see Asbeck here in the pile as well, but Henderson will get the credit for the stop and the loss on the tackle.
All three of them, Elijah Davis, Coffee Bobby, and Brian Henderson, all up front for Lakota West, all really this entire game have been playing just lights out, shut down defense. They've been all over the field. They're playing with great depthness and heel depth at the line of scrimmage. They've been playing fantastic. And then you have Jacob Asbeck, and he just seems to find his way into these tackles, man.
Fisher will throw on third down. A little crossing play, and Jair Brown would not have any of it. However, he will get flagged for pass interference as he was working in on Christian Jackson.
So what Jair did there, he actually came from the front. He was behind him, had decent positions, but then reached out in front of the receiver. Anytime you do that, especially at the high school level, you're going to get called for pass interference on that play almost every single time. Now, when you get into the college game, which he will be obviously heading up to Columbus next year, that will loosen up a little bit. But a coaching moment right there is try and make that play on the inside of the receiver, not coming from behind where you're almost automatically going to get that PI.
Jair playing on all three phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams these days. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians out at the 35-yard line. Fisher in trouble, rolls to the right, and will scoot out of bounds for a couple of yards, being chased out there by Asbeck and by Owen Kaufman.
Well, what you saw there by Kaufman and Asbeck was you saw the pursuit angles of the Lakota West defense. They maintained that. They didn't allow the running back for the Indians to get any field, upfield. They kept him lateral to the line of scrimmage. That's huge because not only do you obviously not force them into a loss play, you also wear them out, Jeff, because that's hard to run that side-to-side laterally. That wears on a team.
By the way, we see Kaufman as a nose tackle here in this group. We had listed him as a linebacker, and he still is. He'll play in the middle of the field a little bit, but he is lining up as a nose guard here in this formation. On second down, Fisher throws it. It's complete out to the near sideline for Hanna. Down the sideline, scooting out inside the 40-yard line where Minnick has him. And it's a 1st and 10 coming up.
Great play call there by Coach Kraus and his offensive staff. Found the seam and called the right play to tackle that zone defense of Lakota West.
Nate Hanna coming on in, had 16 receptions for 299 yards. That is nearly 19 yards a catch and a touchdown. Last week, he had an 8-yarder, and then he ran the ball 3 times against Hamilton. They didn't throw the ball very much a week ago, but they piled up nearly 300 yards on the ground against the Big Blue. 1st and 10 at the 40. Fairfield trying to show a little momentum here on the opening drive of the second. And he is dropped at the 43-yard line. Elijah Davis.
Well, we just got done talking about it, how those 3 guys in the middle of this defense have been rock solid for Lakota West, and you just saw it again. Elijah coming off the edge all over left and right. I mean, just an amazing play by Elijah Davis. Picks up another sack on the year. Already had 2.5 coming into the game. So, again, when you're able to have that kind of pressure and the awareness up front to not over-penetrate, to play heel def like they have been all year long, I mean, this defense, that's the centerfold of this defense right now for Lakota West.
We had a conversation with him at length on Monday. Good young man, just a sophomore. As Fisher really trying to scoot out of his way, but Jacob Asbeck would not have any of it. But I want to finish up on Elijah Davis. So we had mentioned that we got a chance to talk with his family. We'll see his brother up on the roster a year from now. We had talked with Tom Bolden, and they are 2 different body types. Elijah, bigger, stockier, bolder. You got more of a DB or a wide out profile on the other side for Elijah's younger brother Tyson. So longer and leaner, definitely faster. Mom Stacy, Dad Linnell were very complimentary. They've raised some really fine kids. Fisher will throw. And again, it's out to the near sideline, out to Christian Jackson, who's been targeted a few times despite Jair Brown being on him, and he picks up the 1st down.
What a play call there, though. The screenplay. Great 3rd down play call by Coach Kraus. And now look at this, Jeff. The Fairfield Indians have taken advantage of their momentum going into halftime with the long field goal, and now they're decisively moving this ball down the field and having a great drive going here to start off the second half.
Triples to the near side, or I beg you, to the far side, and it's Jackson, the single wide out to the near side, and this one gets by Fisher on the move, trying to turn nothing into something, and this one nearly caught, nearly picked off. out to the sideline. It looked like Hannah was out there, and Alex Afari was either going to hit him hard or get the interception.
Yeah, either or there, penetration killing Fairfield. And it's really killed them kind of all night long. Even on this drive, they've had a couple sacks that they've given up. So the pressure from Lakota West is really getting to them. They've really got to figure out a way to shore that up. In my opinion, I'd put a running back, maybe even 2 more running backs in the backfield just to give my quarterback some more protection to get that ball and give him time to get the ball downfield.
They'll respot the ball, and it's funny. I don't know if there was gamesmanship initially on the near hash mark as they placed the ball over at the 27-yard line, 2nd and 10. It was spotted up at the 23, and they had to respot. Triples in the line to your top side, and now they'll motion a man. Looks like Hannah off the near side. He is stopped. Henderson there, and then Aiden Miller cleaned him up. And now a flag at the end of it as well.
Ooh. Couple flags. Yeah, they got to get control of this right now.
Some jawing between the two sides. Does it look like Minnick was pushing back his own teammate Alex Afari from whatever kerfuffle was going to happen between the two schools? Lakota West at 5-1 entering this ballgame. They've won 5 in a row. Their only loss to number 1 St. Xavier in the opening week of the season. 2-3 is Fairfield. They've come off a win, 28-14, against Hamilton, and it's a personal foul. I think this will be offsetting. And that is the call by tonight's referee, Jeff Joy.
Well, getting a little chippy out there, Jeff, and I kind of noticed it towards the end there of the first half, and that's something that's both coaches kind of got to take their kids and say, hey, guys, listen, let's settle down. If you're Lakota West, hey, let's settle down and play our defense. We got to finish this game. And then Coach Bolden's been talking about it all year long. Great teams finish games. Well, that's what they got to do here right now. And, the defense has got to come up with a big stop for Lakota West. If you're Coach Krause, hey, take advantage of this opportunity now.
I'll bring up a point on execution after this play. 3rd and 10. Actually, it's 3rd and 8. And the give, it's to Jackson, up the middle, explodes past the 20, down to the 15. He's got a first down. There's a phrase I like, and the words are slumming in paradise. Are you familiar?
I can honestly say I've never heard that before.
So slumming in paradise is when you know that you have everything in the world that you really need or want, and yet you're wanting or begging for something more, a little unsatisfied somehow with what you've already have. So that's the mark of good teams, especially with coaches. You're doing well. In the case of Tom Bolden, he's got a 25-point lead for his team, but he wants more. And the direct snap, it goes to Jackson, caught up in the backfield by Asbeck.
Well, I think going off with what you were just talking about right there, Jeff, that just, as coaches, we're never satisfied. You could win. I think Coach Bolden said it. You could win 55-0. We're going to find something that we didn't do right. I go look at Coach Saban on Saturdays. Sometimes he is as mean and as frustrated as he gets, and he's winning by 49 points. He's never satisfied, and that's the mark of great coaches and great teams. You're never satisfied. You're always slumming in paradise.
We saw Jason Krause head out onto the field momentarily just to yell some instructions to his team. 2nd and 13 as we're back in the Cincinnati Reds red zone. And I think this is the first time we've seen that for Fairfield tonight. And a bad mesh, and Fisher may have to jump on it out at the 25-yard line. Alex Afari will get credit for the tackle, and Fisher appears to be hurt.
Yeah, that's not a good situation right now for Coach Krause, and he's rolling around there. This doesn't look too good. I'm wondering if it's that right ankle.
So he was pulling up his leg, bent at the knee, and I don't know if that's a marker or a flag out there out towards the 25. They're going to pick it up. But 6:20 left to go here in the third, and we'll reset. And before we reset, while we have a moment, Eli Sports Bar and Grill proudly sponsors high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and in Ross. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun. as we see Tom Bolden head out to the middle of the field just to make sure on Fisher, who he does have a relationship. In fact, we saw them say hello and have an exchange at midfield in pregame warmups, and it's good to see Fisher come up on his own accord. Did want to make mention of this. The reason why they have a relationship, well, when Tom was coaching over at Coleraine, he had an assistant, John Fisher. John is the dad of Talon.
Yeah, that's such a unique experience. You know, a kid growing, watch him grow up, and now you're coaching against him. Pretty unique for Coach Bolden here tonight.
3rd and a mile, 3rd and 20 from the 26, and the roll right. The throw by Kieran Love, and it is too long down the sideline inside the 10-yard line, intended out there for Braden Shanklin, who had started a little bit here during the season, just a sophomore.
That's a couple of times now we've seen Fisher's balls, kind of sail on him. We even saw it, I think, talking a little bit in halftime. So there again, you kind of see it. He's got to figure out a way to kind of hone in his game a little bit, and that's tough. Sometimes you just get antsy, and those balls are flying all night long. They never stop.
Fisher comes back in. He had to set out a play because they did come out for him, as Kieran Love will come out. Kieran had played a little bit of quarterback a year ago and got a throw here. 4th and 20 from the 26. Do or die time. Here's Fisher in the pocket. He throws out to the sideline. It is incomplete. So Christian Jackson, the intended receiver, but Josh Fussell said no dice.
Yeah, great coverage there by Fussell. And, he honestly kind of had an opportunity. It was kind of in and out of his hands. I was peeking over here on the right side. Great job, though, there again by the Lakota West defense, just playing lockdown coverage as they have all year long, Jeff. And we'll see, what the leg can do of this kicker again.
So 1st and 10 on the turnover on downs. 6:06 left to go here in this third. And Money Mitch will get the ball here for the first time in this third. And they go up the middle. Cam Good with big yardage. He's got a first down and more. Ran over a man out towards the 46-yard line. A pickup of 20. Mercy.
Well, Cam Good's been doing that all year long. We talked about him earlier in the game and the way he continues to move his feet, and you see it right there. On the replay right here, you're going to see him stop. He's actually going to basically almost break a tackle there by just stopping his feet and stutter stepping and getting downfield. Great job by Cam Good, man. Here he is again.
Off to the right, off to the races for a first down, out to the 45-yard line. So the long break of halftime, followed by the long break on the long drive by Fairfield, and we've got a flag here as well. I think the long break has allowed some rested legs for Cam Good. This one's coming back.
Yeah, it looks like we had a hold there on the right side where he ran that football. Uncharacteristic here. This has been a penalty-ridden game so far here tonight, Jeff. Both coaches, they preach discipline. That's all they want to do is discipline, discipline, discipline. So very uncharacteristic on both sides.
Well, it's been slowed by penalties. In fact, right now, 8:49 on the clock. So we're an hour 49 into the actual game, and it's 5:30 left to go in the third. Oh, a little pitch, and it goes to Brown off the left side. Has an angle to the 50. Out to the 45 to the 43-yard line, and another flag out at the 45. Dwayne Richardson puts his hands up as to say that he's the guilty party on a hold.
Well, anytime you're on the edge, that's where you're exposed, right? That's where, the referees are literally staring right at you. So it's really hard, and I know Coach Bolden's probably frustrated. He's saying, look, man, that wasn't a hold. And anytime, you get any type of leverage on the outside and you grab just the tiniest bit of jersey, they're staring right at you on the edge. So that's hard to do.
First, and we'll call it 23 after the yardage mark off on the hold. We're assuming it's on Richardson, the way he reacted right in front of us. Triples to the top of your screen. And they motion Trent Lloyd, and they'll give it to Lloyd. Looking for the corner, cannot find it. He is met by Bivens, and he got a little bit of help out there by 24. Ray Coney, who we've not got a chance to talk about tonight. Ray, in the estimation of Jason Krause, has, quote-unquote, found it. He's really shown a head for football this season, and he really thinks that football is going to be the future for him going forward to the college level. 2nd and 20 after the short pickup. Deep drop. With time, it's a little screen pass for good. Out to the 40 with a lot of space to midfield. To the 45, he's got a first down and a flag at the end of it again. So dirty laundry has been the calling card for Jeff Joy and his crew tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, this is just frustrating now at this point. This has got to be the 4th penalty on this drive, I think. And it's just so uncharacteristic. We'll take a look at the replay here and try and see. Just another great job by Cam getting upfield, getting down. And I'm not sure. It looks like it might have been a face mask there, Jeff. So this one might be going against, and it sure is. It's going against Fairfield on the face mask.
So some good news for Lakota West as Gumbo finishes off the run and gets 15 more. He's been catching the ball a lot more this year. Coming in with 5 receptions, that was his 6th. Remember that he had one that went for about, I believe, 80 a few games ago when we were here, but it got called back due to a hold down the field. First and 10 from the 29-yard line after the mark-off, and they motion Lloyd again. And the keep by Bolden. After seeing what was coming right at him in the case of Coney and I think 52 out there, Josh Maupin, good job by the quarterback Bolden to hold on to it and not take the big loss.
Well, kind of feeding off what you were talking about with Cam Good and how he's become a little bit more dynamic this year. I think that's a testament to the new offensive coordinator, Coach Bouchamp, coming in here and saying, hey, look, we're going to utilize all of our assets on offense, and now it looks like we have a Fairfield Indian that's gone down.
So it's funny. Before, he was up on his own 2 feet, and then he just decided to take a tumble, sit on his seat, and then fall to the backside. I can't tell if that's 24, and if that's 24, that'll be Coney. And while we do have a moment, if your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling for a comfortable way of life. For the rookie, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for Week 7 in the GMC on Chatterbox Plus. Want to give out credit to our guys in the booth with us, the production twins, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters, and our videographers tonight, Maddie Morris and Alex McCleary. And did you catch a number on that truck?
It looks like it's number 27.
So
maybe?
It is.
Yeah.
So 27 is the defensive back, Matthew Humbarger, who's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, a junior.
I'll tell you what, one thing I've been impressed with Humbarger all night long, he sees the field. He's been all over. He's listed as a cornerback, but honestly, been kind of flying around the place a little bit all night long. Coach Bolden down there, though, was having a very passionate discussion with the referee during that injury timeout. Not sure what that was about, but he was letting them have it a little bit.
So we resume play, 2nd and 9 after the stoppage. Bolden looking to pass, looking, the home run down the sideline, touchdown! Hooray for Hollywood! Number 2 tonight for Bolden, and it is 34-3.
Well, there it is. Hollywood himself hauls it in, but watch Tigris Shabola on the left side here. Absolutely just manhandles it. It kind of cut away there at the end, but my goodness, what blocking there by Shabola and the entire offensive line to give Mitch the time to step up and make that throw to Hollywood.
So Jair has scored as a wide receiver here in consecutive weeks. And we see Hannah Duncan out there for the point after. And good. 35-3 with 3:23 left to go here in this third.
Am I allowed to say, Jeff? Mercy.
Mercy.
I mean, wow. I mean, it is just, I didn't expect this at all tonight. I knew that this was going to be I thought this was going to be a tough game, actually, for Lakota West, and just been impressed. They've had their moments. They've kind of, struggled in some areas, had a couple more penalties than they would like to have tonight. But all in all, holistically from this game up until this point right now, I'll tell you what, they are looking really, really sharp in really all phases. Again, I say they got a few things they got to fix up on the offensive side, but that fast start that they were able to get with the first play from scrimmage, and they've just kept rolling with it from here. And Fairfield right now, it's just they don't have an answer on defense for anybody, whether it be Jair, whether it be Mitch. They don't have an answer. Even Cam Good, they haven't been able to figure it out right now. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to figure it out at this point in the ball game.
8-play drive that soaks up 74 yards. It takes 2.5 minutes off the clock. It seems a lot longer because it was a lot longer because of all the penalties that flew. As Tyler Bone kicks one towards the end zone for a touchback. The Brown reception from Bolden, the point after good, and the brand new score is 35-3.
Yeah, be curious to see what that real time looked like in that drive, because I'll tell you what, that was incredibly long, man.
Well, it's 8:57 right now. We were talking about this same drive 10 minutes ago, literally.
Whew.
So the fact that Fairfield's only now getting the ball again, as we now have a running clock, by the way, 2:50 and counting. Fisher's back there, and they show blitz. Asback coming from the weak side, and the throw to the near side, incomplete. Intended out there for Christian Jackson. And Talon Fisher was under heavy duress, just trying to get the ball away in time.
Yeah, great job there. Put the pressure and the play call there on defense to bring the pressure off the edge. Tyler Halls and Coach Joseph on the defensive side have really revamped this offense from last year, especially with the amount of young players that they have this year compared to last. They're much more dynamic with their blitzes, and I really like the pressure that they're getting in on the quarterback. They continue to do that, they're gonna have success well into the playoffs.
Back to throw and dropped. No, he's still on his feet. Fisher kept his feet alive. Now he throws out to the far side, and it is nearly picked off. So a comedy of errors out there as he nearly found Figgins coming across, dragging himself to the middle of the field, off his hands out at the 45, and in a great Houdini job there by the quarterback Fisher.
Oh, Brian Henderson, though, for Lakota West, man. You got to break down and make a tackle, man. You got to finish the tackle. He'll definitely see that on film tomorrow morning, and probably grade out on a minus on that play there. But again, the pressure, it's been there all night long. On that play, you just got to settle yourself down, break down, and make a tackle.
So we melt the clock towards a minute left to go here in this third. 35-3. Twins to each side. Fisher to throw once more. Steps up, throws, and it is incomplete. And now a flag at the end of the play as Malik Hartford made contact as the pass was coming into Braden Shanklin.
I don't know if I agree with that call there on the pass interference. I thought that was pretty well simultaneous almost, that Malik got in there, but obviously not.
By the way, it's been a really good week for Malik Hartford. He's been offered, and not all of them have come this week, but he's been offered so far by this group of schools: Cincinnati, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, West Virginia, Iowa State, Louisville, and Miami, just down the road in Oxford.
That's quite a list.
Might be the final play of this third period. It's a running play for a few yards as we melt the clock down to 3 zeros, and that's what she wrote here after 3. We are through 36 minutes of this ball game. It's a runaway for West, 35-3. The GMC here on Chatterbox Plus. Down the stretch we come here in Beckett Ridge. 35-3. It's a runaway for the locomotive that is the Lakota West Firebirds.
And there's nothing coming down the track that's stopping them here tonight, I'll tell you that much, and maybe the rest of the season with the way they're playing.
Well, they are, as we head the other way as Fairfield attacks the south end zone and Fisher's back to pass. A little dump off in space and nothing doing. Nothing doing there as Michael Figgins got the ball, but he was taken down. Was that Gonzalez?
I think it might have been. I think you're going to get a holding call here also on the right side, I think, by Augie Groh, the right tackle. Held out there. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be.
So as we look ahead, and because we now have a running clock, we are going to look ahead. St. Xavier, by the way, is number 1 in the state of Ohio, if you believe the Associated Press poll. And given our personal discussion a week ago, I might be one to believe it. So they are number 1. Lakota West right now is number 8. And some of the other schools from the area, Springfield is 4. Moeller is 9. Centerville is 10. So a lot of good football here in the southwest of Ohio. On second down, Fisher back to throw again. Steps up, now in trouble. Looking, throwing it away, and it is high, incomplete, out at the 40.
Another flag on the field, Jeff.
Intended out there for 20, Juster's Fataki. By the way, as we sort this one out, I want to talk about Juster's for a second. Juster's is spelled Juseters. Fataki is spelled Fataki. He and his brother, Rais, who's a cornerback on this team, are African, and they grew up speaking French. So these are, if I understand correctly, French names. And this one goes against Fairfield.
Impressive to know languages, man, like that. I wish I could do that. Didn't have the time to study that hard or that well. But one thing I wanted to make a mention looking at the rankings, and I got to say this from my family, Upper Arlington, 6-0. My grandfather got his start. He's a Hall of Fame high school football coach from Gahanna, got his start with Marv Moorhead there. So it's awesome to see the Golden Bears, home of Jack Nicholas, back playing great football there off Henderson Road in Upper Arlington.
Well, if you're going to mention your grandpa, aren't you going to drop his name?
Well, yeah, Coach Billman, Neil Billman. He was the head coach at Gahanna Lincoln High School, made it to the 1976 state championship game where he lost to my alma mater, Archbishop Moeller High School, and Jerry Faust.
So we've got some indecision and a resetting of the ball, and they'll place it out at the 26, it appears.
Looks like it.
And again, we've got the running clock, so we're moving full speed ahead with 9:15 left to go. Fisher again to throw. And the throw right, picked off! This is 6, or is it? Out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. So Tyler Sparnell, they will call it a touchdown.
Whew. I'll tell you what, he snuffed that out from the get-go. I saw it from here. I mean, just an errant pass there by Fisher throwing it. And, I mean, I'll tell you what, it looks like, are they going to give him that touchdown?
They're going to spot him out at the 4-yard line. So wave off the thought of the touchdown. I thought he got in.
Yeah.
And it's back to the 4-yard line with 9:02 left to go.
Wow, I thought he was much further, at least down by the 1-yard line. He must have stepped out or something there. Nonetheless, great play for Lakota West.
And coming around to the near side, Cam Good has got a touchdown. Mercy. 41-3.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, now it's a runaway, Jeff, at this point. And you just saw it right there. The ability, the big play ability by this defense to make a play like that, and then the ability of the offense to not fool around with the football, get it in on one score. I mean, when you're able to do that and capitalize that quickly off of a turnover, that's huge. The one thing we talked about for Fairfield coming into this game and tonight, you couldn't turn the ball over. And so far, right there, that's what they've done. They've really shot themselves in the foot all night long, and Lakota West has taken advantage of it each and every time.
Tyler Bone, good. One play does it all. Good. Gets his second of the night. A 4-yard touchdown scamper. The point after is good. The brand new score here in Beckett Ridge is 42-3.
I mean, just total shock right now of really the way this game has gone. You just kind of came into this. I was expecting, like I said, a much tougher battle than this has, but it's been all Lakota West from the get-go.
Looking ahead for both teams, obviously you got the game here in week 7 for Fairfield. They will host Mason a week from tonight on the 8th, and then they'll be at Lakota East on the 15th. They'll wrap up the regular season against Middletown on the 22nd. For the home team tonight, they'll take on Middletown right here in Beckett Ridge next week. They'll be at Colerain, which should be a hell of a game on the 15th. And then week 10, the game I think everybody's looking forward to and wondering right now if this may be the conference championship. It's literally West versus East for week 10 right here in Beckett Ridge.
I'll tell you what, the Colerain game and then that East game, those are going to be two fantastic football games, man. No better time in the state than in late October in Southwest Ohio, because you just get fantastic football.
Short kick out at the 15. Return man to the near side, out towards the 40. A head full of steam out there for the youngster Nate Hanna.
Well, he sure turned on the Jets there on that one. Wow.
They got a couple of kids who can particularly run. Hanna is one of them. I'm really particularly impressed by his speed. Got a chance to look at the tape from last week, and boy, was he running up and down the field.
Yeah, he's got some wheels, and he can move down. For Coach Krause in this team, I was just kind of thinking back to his comments to us in pregame about, really, I asked him, I said, hey, look, your 11th year at Fairfield, where do you see this program going now? You've had some success. And he's like, look, last year was just a really weird year. And I really think I would have been interested to see if they played a normal year, what Fairfield would look like coming into this year. But, they just got to figure it out and get it back.
It's off the hands of Fisher, and this ball is out, still looking to unpile. And, in fact, we've got a literal rugby scrum out there at the 43-yard line. Clock frozen at 7:30. Actually, it's still moving because it's a running clock. It'll stay up front. So, again, we had a little bit of the grease pig syndrome in the first half. It reared its ugly head, and Fisher did recover his own mishandle.
Yeah, the ball has been all over this field tonight, man. And isn't that funny how it kind of happens, not just for one team, but really been both teams here tonight have struggled with that, one more than the other, but yeah.
Out to the sideline. It looks like it's Jackson who's got a first down the sideline. This could be 6. It is 6.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm guessing that it looks like they have a couple of the reserves in there right now for Lakota West.
Touchdown to Braden Shanklin. And a big play there, 55 yards on the catch and run.
Jeez Louise.
Again, flags everywhere before Aiden McGuire could get the kickoff. And he had been the lone bright spot in the first half for visiting Fairfield. He had the 44-yarder to close things off in the first 24 minutes.
I think we talked about it week 1, maybe that we took a trip to Six Flags. I feel like I'm there again tonight, man.
Well, it's been the dirty laundry train. I mean, I know Procter & Gamble has a big presence here in greater Cincinnati, and I'm just wondering if they can pass along some tide for these officials tonight.
Absolutely. It's been all over the place.
We get approval from our booth tonight, and McGuire punches it through. 42-10. 2 plays, and because of the running clock, it did take nearly 2 minutes as Shanklin from Fisher, gets the touchdown from 55 yards out. The point after is good. Talon Fisher gets his 3rd touchdown pass of the year.
Yeah, I mean, you take away the penalties in this game. This game is, I don't know whether it's different, really at all. I think really the like I said, the one team that has stopped Lakota West tonight has been Lakota West. Whether it be the interception or whether it just be kind of flailing when they get into the red zone. So, if you're Coach Bolden, you're going to look at this tomorrow morning and go, all right, guys, we know what we can do well. We have to finish drives. And he talked about that last week. He was asked kind of describe the game against Mason. He said one word that he threw out there was finish. We finished that game. Here tonight, the score is so lopsided, but they're going to drill in there. And what did you call it? Slums in paradise? They're going to figure out exactly what's wrong. Because this scoreboard, I can tell you right now, Coach Bolden's going, man, we've got a laundry list of things to work on before we even consider ourselves to be one of those top teams, even though they might be in the rankings and everything. But that's the mentality you got to have as a coach when you have a team that is really right now poised to make a run or go deep into the playoffs. You got to keep them on edge.
From the 15, here's Afari. Cuts to the middle of the field, down the seam. He had one man to beat at the 40, and he gets hog-tied there. This should be a horse collar or a face mask out at the 42-yard line.
And that's the second time that's happened to Alex Afari. That happened to him early on in the first quarter down on the right corner here. And again, he gets the face mask and the horse collar, whatever it might be. But, the way he hits those holes, man, Alex Afari just picked up an offer. He's committed to UK, the verbal to UK, picked up an offer from Louisville, so the in-state college rivalry recruiting continues between the Wildcats and the Cardinals.
While we have a moment, let's talk about Region 4 computer points. And I was very pointed in our discussion about this a week ago. St. X is number 1 in Region 4. We won't talk about Division 3 because they'll just give me heartburn. Moeller is number 2, followed by Lakota East. Lakota West is now moved up to number 4, followed by Princeton, and now Milford at number 6, which should tell you something if you paid attention to our last broadcast a week ago.
Yeah, I still would like to know how Milford was ranked that high, especially when we had seen Lakota East, Lakota West. We know what Moeller can do. We know what St. X can do. So again, but I think they're more pointed at 6. Even I think 6 might be a little bit high. See what the penalty is here. Looks like we got a face mask against Fairfield. He'll decline it.
By the way, the quarterback is 15, Nolan Parker.
So there was a hold on Cole Rain. Interesting. So they just moved that back. So there were 2 fouls on the play there. They called a face mask against Fairfield, which was declined, and then they accepted the holding call against Cole Rain. Interesting.
And by the way, what you just went through as Parker gets the ball, fakes the pass, and gives up the middle for minimal yardage, I want to bear this in mind. This is the reason why you put a mic on a referee.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Because we're up here literally guessing sometimes when we see that. And honestly, I have to go back in my head and go, okay, we've had a couple, loss of down penalties. What does that signal mean? I'm having to go back in my memory from coaching and been out of it for, almost 10 years now. But, yeah, that's why you're exactly right. We need a microphone on this guy.
So Nolan Parker's in the game, as we had mentioned, who's we've seen quite a bit of because we've seen, to be quite honest, Lakota West with running clocks all throughout this season. The only game that you and I have seen that they haven't had a running clock was Princeton, and they pitched a shutout in that game, 28-0. And nothing doing here on second down. So I want to go back to the computer points. You have 3 GMC schools in the top 5. Obviously, 2 of the GCL South's finest in the top 2 spots. But, at some point, when you think about what St. X or Moeller might do, especially in competition with LaSalle, you may see a loss here or there, and it's easy to see that maybe perhaps a GMC school gets up to number 2, and it may be these West Firebirds, as we see the play coming to the near side and nothing doing. They keep going backwards. Before their own 5-yard line. They're back at the 4.
Yeah, this is a little uncharacteristic. It looks like he might have a couple of the JV guys in there right now. But again,
more than a couple.
More than a couple, I was going to say. But again, just, you want to continue to coach. I love that Coach Bolden has all of his coaches down there, still got the headsets on, still fighting and coaching. I've been on staffs where, head coach, hey, we're up this big, come on down, grab a cup of coffee, whatever it might be. No, you got to stay in there and coach these young guys up.
So Carter Barnett, who wears 39, he's on his own back line to punt things away, officially from the 5-yard line. Fairfield's coming, and he gets this one away. We get a push up front, and this one will take a Lakota West bounce across the 50 out to the 48-yard line. That was an outstanding punt for what it was. In pressure, under duress was Barnett, and he gets a 47-yarder to boot.
Probably the toughest punt are those punts right there, and the reason is that, punters, they have their steps and they have their counts down, exactly what they do. They practice it all the time. When you get a short in the back of the end zone like that, you do two things. You have to tell your long snapper he's not snapping the ball back as hard, and now your steps change. So it's very difficult. Great job there, though. Fantastic punt. That's a really tough situation to be in for a punt team.
Got a clock frozen at 2:19. 42-10, and now they let it roll. Down the final minutes of this one here from Beckett Ridge. As the Firebirds look to move to 6-1, they'll get there very easily tonight. Quarterback keeping, and a new quarterback in there, I think 32. It was either that or a Wildcat out there for Caleb House, who's listed as a wide receiver.
Curious, looking down the road for Lakota West and just kind of looking at the ranks. There's one thing you mentioned, with the GCL schools, and they only have, their 3 in-league games. They have to go out and play really tough competition. You got St. X going down to Louisville Trinity tonight. You got Moeller with Elder tomorrow. Those are big computer points that they can gather, and that's one thing where it's kind of weighted a little bit differently because, GMC schools, you have a, 8-game conference schedule where, you might end up having to play, a team that's not going to get you those big-style computer points, whereas, Moeller and the GCL schools have that ability because they have to. They're kind of forced into it a little bit. I know one of the big computer points that they're actually getting right now from Moeller is Ironton. They went down there and beat them, and that's Ironton's only loss. So when you start beating those smaller teams and, those points, they add up mightily.
Tayshawn Mosley got the last carry, 3rd and 5. So we have the clock under a minute. Mosley gets the give again. And we'll see if they just give it to him or play on here on this 4th down. Well, they punt. Actually, they look like they're coming off the field as the clock continues to run. And the way that this game has gone, I don't even know if anybody really has to snap the ball again.
Yeah, it looks, I think Coach Crouch pretty much kind of gave a motion that he's going to let this one run out. And for good reason, I think.
So Lakota West improves to 6-1. They have won 6 in a row tonight as we evaporate the clock under 12 seconds here. And this will be the case. We did just see the final play of this ball game. And there'll be a loss, seesaw season literally for Krause's crew as they fall to 2-4 tonight. 42-10 the final here. A dominating performance by the West Firebirds.
Yeah, from start to finish from the first play. And I know we haven't talked about it, but that'll be my play of the game right there, Jeff, is that very first pass play from Mitch Bolden to Alex Afari down the sideline. Alex Afari, almost made it into not a great play there. But again, that set the tone for this offense and for the night. When you were able to hit that big play on your first play from scrimmage, woo! The rest of the nights, you can put it behind you then.
So the first big play and the play of the night by my partner here, powered by Headlines Apparel. So a really fine effort here tonight here for Lakota West when they've been on their game. You would mention in the course of our broadcast tonight, partner, that the team that's been stopping them the most is themselves.
Absolutely, and you saw that here tonight a lot. You're going to look at the stat sheet and you're going to go, my goodness, they thumped them. And I'll tell you what, if you're Coach Bolden, you're going, no, we didn't. That score is not indicative of how we've played throughout this entire year. Lakota West has a lot to work on. They've got to continue to finish drives. And that's the one word that I would probably use moving into this week is finish, guys. We have to finish. We have to finish drives. We have to finish games. And that's really the key. If they want to take that next step into being a great team, they're going to have to be able to figure out a way to finish throughout the year. Because I'll tell you what, we talked about it. It does not get any easier for the Firebirds coming up.
How about the progression of Mitch Bolden? He got a couple of touchdowns throwing and a couple of touchdowns running tonight, if I recall. I'm actually looking back here to make sure. He threw one to Minnick and he threw one over to Jair Brown. So 2 and 2. So 4 touchdowns. Another fine effort for the junior quarterback.
And you see him get better each and every week. In the coach's show, Coach Bolden talked about that he's continuing to progress as a quarterback each and every week. And then you topple on his dual threat ability. I'll tell you what, again, I'm just anxious to see what he does against, we got Coleraine coming up and then Lakota East, 2 really, really big games. But if Mitch continues to progress the way he has, I'll tell you what, there's nothing that really can stop him. He had one really bad play tonight, and that was that interception that he threw. That's very out of character for him. They'll go back and take a look at that tomorrow on films. But Mitch, I tell you what, Jeff, just so impressive week in and week out. And what that allows Coach Bouchamp, the offensive coordinator, to do is to start expanding that playbook now. Mix in more RPOs and stuff like that gives Mitch a little bit more freedom out there.
As we begin to wrap things up, want to give thanks to a couple people specifically. Of course, Scott Kaufman, the athletic director here at Lakota West, who joined us at halftime. Great show, and we got to see the Lakota West marching band underneath the direction of Andy Carr. And his marching band, by the way, just won a Marching Band of America regional just recently. So they are on their way to a championship, potentially nationally. Also want to thank specifically Jody Walters. So Jody takes care of us as far as dinner is concerned here in the booth, and we are grateful to her for taking care of us so very well. Final thoughts on this one?
You know what? Final thoughts are this, Jeff. If Lakota West wants to be that great team and wants to continue to roll and have a deep run in the playoffs, I'll tell you what, they need to really, 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 and I'm going to go back to my previous comment, they have to focus on finishing. That is going to be my name of the game for Lakota West going down the stretch. Finish, finish, finish. But I'll tell you what, if Mitch Bolden continues to play the way he's playing, this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with come Week 10 and Week 11 on.
Partner, was a fun one, and I won't see you next week. We'll see you in week number 9. Enjoy the week off.
Oh, I will. Believe me.
You're on assignment.
Exactly. I am on assignment in Phoenix.
This game took 2 hours and 20 minutes. The final tonight, 42-10. Thanks to our production twins, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters. Our videographers tonight were Maddie Moores and Alex McClary. Week 7 here in the books. We can't wait for week number 8. Again, the final tonight, 42-10. Lakota West the winner. For the rookie, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. We bid you so long from Beckett Ridge.